What up? It's your man, Ole Man Winter, back with a new episode of No Holds Barred. We're back from our small hiatus. We had to delve and explore a little issue with that tether, DJ Academics. We handled that business, so now it's back to our regularly scheduled program. So, as you all can see by the title, we're talking about your favorite president, yours and mine's, Jim Crow Joe Biden. What's old Sleepy Joe up to nowadays? We haven't talked about Jim Crow Joe in a while. We haven't heard from Jim Crow Joe in a while. But as you can see, Jim Crow Joe has come out trying to basically make fools of us all. He's telling us that don't believe your lying eyes, believe what I tell you. Jim Crow Joe thinks we're all stupid. He thinks you all are all stupid. He thinks the entire American population is stupid. He definitely thinks Black America is stupid. But we're here to give Jim Crow Joe a little pushback and let him know, no, we're not falling for the okie doke. We're not falling for your games. We're not falling for your BS that you keep on sending our way. And you ain't gonna piss on us and tell us it's raining and think we're gonna just tell you, oh, what a lovely shower it is coming on down. We all see you. We see what you're doing. You're full of mess, Joe Biden. You're a liar and the truth ain't in you. We've seen you create the border crisis that America is facing that may have America split right down the middle in a civil war. And I may be talking about that in another broadcast later on down the line. But we're here talking about you telling us, you trying to deflect and shift the blame and tell us what all you need to get the border crisis that you created under control. So here's your boy, your president, Jim Crow Joe Biden, giving us his explanation of how to solve the border crisis that we all know he created to begin with. So without further ado, Jim Crow Joe Biden, fair use is in full effect, and I'll give you my commentary about what he's saying afterwards. And I may have to interrupt this trash bag in the middle of his little splaining, but we'll see. So without further ado, here's your boy, President Jim Crow Joe Biden at his best.
Folks, we're making real progress. One of the most important issues we're facing, security at the border. The first bill I introduced was for a massive change in security at our border. 2 months ago, my team began to work with a bipartisan group of senators to put together the toughest, smartest, fairest border security bill in history.
Now, he talking about putting together the toughest, smartest. First off, we know he can barely connect words nowadays, so we have to bear with him for that. But he's saying he's going to put together the toughest, smartest, most comprehensive border plan in history or something to that effect. Well, we already had all that going on before you got in office. The border crisis was being handled. We wasn't having this flood of immigrants, and we were pretty much headed in the right direction. You created an open border policy for the United States after Trump had the southern border secured. This is a complete threat to our national security. We may feel ramifications for years upon years to come. Who knows how many different terrorist cells from different countries, from different anywhere, has entered this country because of you opening up the floodgates, which is Pandora's box, and allowing that southern border to be basically a welcome mat where nobody has to. They can bring whatever drugs, whatever weapons, whatever, anything. They could smuggle people to and from Mexico. They could child traffic backwards and forwards. It's just wide open. It's like the Wild West out there for real, literally, on that southern border. All because Biden decided as soon as he got in office to open up the floodgates at that border. Now he wants to come here and tell us to our face like we dumb, like we a bunch of dummies, that he has a solution to the problem he created? Give me a break. This is insanity. But Jim Crow Joe thinks that we're just as senile as he is. No, we all are working with our with a full deck. You're the one that don't know nothing, but you think you're gonna pull one over on us? Come on, be real. You can you ain't even cognitive of what's going on in this world, but you really think you're gonna convince a nation full of people that are fully cognitive, you know what I'm saying, have their full cognitive functions, and you're gonna finesse us, and you're the one that don't even know, can't even walk up a flight of stairs without tripping up a flight of stairs, which I've never seen that happen until you start doing it on a regular basis. So, well, we all know Jim Crow Joe is a puppet for the Democratic higher ups, Obama and the rest of it, Hillary Clinton and all the rest of the, you know, the usual suspects over there at the DNC. And they have this open border policy, which is meant to displace the black community. We all know this stuff backwards and forwards by now. The open border policy is meant to displace the black community because they see that they're getting a lot of pushback from the black community because they refuse to do anything, even though we're the complete backbone of the Democratic Party. So they believe by letting our border be flooded and letting the country be flooded by illegal immigrants, the illegal immigrants will be grateful to them for allowing them to come into this country illegally, and they're going to find some way to try to fast track them. That's going to be coming down the pipe. Fast track them to citizenship. And they believe all of those, the new citizens that they created to displace the disgruntled black people, they believe they're going to be able to carry the Democratic Party into the future. That's never going to happen. You all have tried this similar strategy in the past. These people will never vote for you. Black people are the only people foolish enough to sit here and vote for one party in an overwhelming majority. No other group in history has ever done that in America. Most of the other groups are floating around 55%, 45%, 50-50, and things like that. The black community are the only people that vote 80 and 90% in favor of one party and stuff like that. Like it's almost embarrassing, to be honest. But yeah, that's my people. That's the way we roll. We in the past we have not attempted to be to make ourselves politically sophisticated enough to discern who to basically have discriminating tastes and, you know, have a variety of different thought processes when it comes to the election process. And yes, but the whole problem is, yeah, we damned if we do, we damned if we don't. But that means that it still should be 50-50 on us knowing that both parties ain't nothing. So why are you overwhelmingly voting for one that's not nothing over the other that's not nothing? If you're going to decide to vote, it should be 50-50 if we're politically sophisticated. You know, that's the long and the short of that. Any which way you slice it, the fact that it's leaning to 80 and 90% means that there's a flaw in our mentality of the way the political process works. And then everybody always leans on us like we're obligated to vote for these Democrats and this, that, and the third. Because the Democratic Party would completely collapse without black people. So the Democratic Party knows that. They knows they're getting heavy pressure for reparations. The Democratic Party is even more racist than the Republican Party. So they're definitely saying we'll never give them niggas any form or fashion of no reparations. They're constantly pressuring us. They're going to withdraw their vote eventually. They're going to smarten up, withdraw their vote. They're not going to support us. We refuse to give in to their demands. So we have to find a way to displace them and replace their votes with somebody else. So We can make them politically dead, and we will never have to even entertain catering to them again. You know what I'm saying? Even the fact they don't even want to have to lie to us like they've been doing up until now, like they would those do something or dancing around the issue. They just want to do like they do now, which the political strategy we know, the politics control the media. What they do now is just a media blackout on any reparations demands, anything talking about doing anything for the black public, anything that can't be spent into something to demonize or make black people look bad, and it articulates our demand for reparations or demand for anything being done to us that's rightfully ours in an articulate, logical way. That it's an immediate blackout on all of that. You'll only get something that'll pop up to that effect, where it's making us look bad. Where, like with Charlemagne is controlled opposition. We've been talking about Charlemagne for a long time. Charlemagne is put out there because he's like the court jester. He has all these political entities come on one of his programs or something like that. They put him in that position to challenge these like Republicans or whatever like that, to make him look foolish and dumb with his assertions, that's supposed to be positive for black people, or supposed to be in our favor, but he don't have none of the answers to, and he makes them all look good when they go up against him, basically, which means he's controlled opposition. He's propped up to be there, to be put up in front of these Republicans, so they'll make it look like the Republicans' points are valid because they made Charlemagne look so foolish when he tried to challenge him with his point. That's supposed to represent black people, because we're all one big black nigga, and one black person can be the voice and speak for all the rest of us. And they'll put that one black person, he'll be the dumb as a box of rocks and won't have any answers. And then they'll set that one dumb black person up against Ben Shapiro, and Ben Shapiro do his fast talking spiel and ramble off a whole bunch of lies and things like that. And the black person will look dumb and won't have no answer or rebuttal to nothing that the lying bull crap that Ben Shapiro said, speaking a million miles a minute. Or they'll put that same dumb one black person up against a Candace Owens, and she'll make them look bad, and they'll be dumbfounded against what that person said. This is just the way these politicians get out. And like I say, the Democrats are architects of that. You would think, oh well, they put them up against Republicans, so no, this is some type of Republican thing. Charlemagne, it's for you to know for a fact, getting off into the weeds, for you to know for a fact this is a Democrat set up situation to make black people look bad. Charlemagne is Democrat. He told us vote for Joe Biden. Charlemagne is a hardcore Democrat stooge. He's a shield for the Democrats. So why is it that Charlemagne is always doing these interviews with these Republicans and stuff like that? All the Democrat shields, they take their marching orders from from the Democrats. So the Democrats wouldn't want one of their people interviewing and pubbing up a Republican candidate. The whole point is to set him up, have him get in front of the Republican candidate, and have the Republican make him look bad and make him look stupid, because they know everybody on the national stage is looking at Charlemagne like he's a proxy for black society. And when the Republican makes him look stupid, it makes us all look stupid. And the Democrats set that up because, trust and believe, Charlemagne ain't interviewing no Republican unless the Democrats sanction it. So it's a finesse from the day one. So again, the Democrats have a very insidious plot. They hate black people. They wish that their base was not black. That's the whole point of the border crisis. That's the whole point of letting the country be flooded with immigrants, is to try to replace and displace black people. In Chicago, in where I stayed, here in Chicago, right? we had an issue with the Hispanic politicians, aldermen or whatever. They tried to make a move to gain power in Chicago to where they got more Hispanic districts as far as in the voting chambers of the city. Basically, they tried to make a move where they'll be able to have more votes, which would give them more control of the city over black people. Now, they don't want to go after none of the white seats or none of the white districts or whatever. They want the redistricting to happen to where it represents them in a place where they have a majority over black people. This was a big thing. It was either this past summer. No, it wasn't this past summer. It was last summer. They eventually stood down, but and I'll give this to TD Hip Hop. He's the one that really, talked about this and broke this down. They stood down because they knew, in conjunction with working with the Democratic Party, they knew the next time these votes and this redistricting comes around, they will have an overwhelming number of their Hispanic people over here because this was all one big plan by the Democratic Party to begin with. So they basically, the Hispanic politicians tried to jump the gun before they had all their pieces in place to make their move. So they basically showed their hand ahead of time. So the black people were able to push them back because they didn't really have the numbers, but they tried to do it. So they just said, okay, we'll leave it alone. They dropped it themselves because they knew the fix was in with the Democrat Party, that they were about to flood Chicago with Hispanic immigrants. So the next time they do the redistricting, it will be academic. The black people will be so outnumbered that they won't be able to have a leg or argument to be able to hold their districts, and the redistricting is going to happen whether they like it or not. That was the whole plan and the plot from day one. The Hispanics just showed their hand. They got too thirsty. You know what I'm saying? For this go round on the vote, they was ready to hurry up and take over. This time, they wasn't patient enough to get with the larger Democratic Party. And guess what? The next mayor is going to be a Hispanic. And the reason Brandon Johnson is going along with all this stuff, he's been already promised a higher position in the Democratic Party. That mayor position right now that he's in, that's a stepping stone tool for him to do the Democrats' bidding and have a lifetime position in the Democratic Party once we vote him out. They done already had a backdoor deal with him. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You know you're going to be very unpopular for the way you're setting everything up for what we want to do in Chicago. That's cool. You're going to be, from what we're doing, you're going to be a one-term mayor. They're going to get you out of there. The black folks are going to be very disgruntled with you. But you will always be in the good graces of the Democratic Party. We're going to probably move you and your family out the whole city to Washington. You'll be a Democrat. You'll be a Democrat insider for the rest of your career. You'll be set for life in the Democratic Party. All you got to do is serve Chicago up to these immigrants, displace the black population, displace black power in Chicago, bring in your own replacement and replacement for all these other aldermen that may be on the take or may be down with the move or just too dumb to see what's coming. Now we have a Hispanic enclave to strip all the power away from black people in Chicago, and then the same play is being done in New York and anywhere else where they feel like there's too many black people, where there's enough black people to actually make a difference in any political way. They want to make us politically dead. They want to kill black people politically, you know what I'm saying? So any black stronghold that they feel has a heavy black population where they can influence votes, where you think they sending them immigrants? Any place they feel like black people can get political, especially in big major cities. If they feel like black people are now getting politically sophisticated, they're not going to be in the Democrats' back pocket anymore. They're not going to blindly vote for Democrats anymore. Then that means we don't need the black population to be in power in those places anymore. We don't need any black strongholds where they're not in our pocket. You know what I'm saying? So that's the name of the game with the game that the Democrats is playing. They feel like they can replace us with the Hispanics. They feel like the Hispanic politicians will be able to convince their people to get on board, vote as a block like black people been doing, you know what I'm saying, this whole time. And they could displace black people. And black people will be, you know, basically subjugated once again, even though we've never really stopped being subjugated, but even, you know, basically have zero political voice nationwide, not on a state, county, or city level in any significant place in this country. Again, why you think they send them to New York, Chicago? There's too many black people in New York and Chicago. They can actually have a political voice. If black people aren't going to be kissing the ring of the Democratic Party and the Democrats are tired of having to placate to black people or pretend like that they are, then guess what? It's time to displace the black people, take all their political power, and we can make them politically dead. They'll just be here. We'll never have to do anything. We'll give all their reparations. We'll give all the resources that's allocated for black people. We'll give all that to the Hispanics. Black people, it's basically genocidal warfare against the black population through attrition. They don't have to come right out and march through the streets and kill us. All they gotta do is resource deprivation, what they've been doing already, but times 10. Once we have zero political voice and can influence politics at a zero, and once we're in a position where we can't influence politics in no way, shape, or form, we've been completely displaced, then they could use their resource, what they've been doing already, but kick it up to 10 times or 100 times worse than what it is. They could deprive us of resources to the point where we will basically, you know what I'm saying, go extinct. We already, right now, before any of this stuff was happening, before any of this displacement was happening, before flooding us with the immigrants, we were already on track to go into a negative wealth status by what I believe is scheduled to be 2054. It's floating around there. 2050 something. The black population's wealth is going negative, and it's scheduled to go. Because we're like at 0.5% of wealth right now, but we're scheduled to be at negative wealth in the 2050 somethings. So again, if we have no political voice, we have no black strongholds where we can control anything that happens. We're politically dead. They can deprive us of resources and literally starve us out. Literally starve the black people out. Either we assimilate into white society by interracial dating. You know, that's whole another reason why all they do is promote interracial relationships, which benefits the white people, because if black people integrate with some of these white folks, it will strengthen these white bloodlines enough so that their birth rates, because they're going extinct too. So the white people are basically like, if we're going down, we're taking these niggas with us. So they're going extinct because of their birth rates. They're like, well, we can resource deprive the black people and make them go extinct too, or either the black folks lay up with us, and improve our physicality to where our birth rates go back into the positive, and they assimilate with us. Either that, or they die when we die, and we'll give the country back to, or give the country to Hispanics in an overwhelming place. This will just be one entire Hispanic continent. We'll let the Hispanics wash all over the whole entire United States of America. So that's, you know what I'm saying, that's in-game plans for your ass. I'm telling you that right now. The Democrats are not playing checkers. They're playing chess. They're thinking 30, 40, 50 years ahead. The Democrats know it's nowhere they're going to win this election. If they do that, they rigged the election again. You know what I'm saying? Which that might be why they might be so bold with what they're doing too, is because they know that they aren't participating in fair, unbiased, untampered with elections. They know they have to fast track the finesse election, so they like, we'll just do whatever we want to do. But if they're gonna let the election play out, you know what I'm saying, without any funny business, then they just giving this one up. They know for a fact they can't win. They're just gonna try to weather the storm, flood the country with immigrants, try to get them pushed on fast track to citizenship, and have them replace the black people in 4 years as their new voter base. That's their immediate goals right now. But like I just said, their long-term goals is to starve black folks out through attrition, genocide the black population through attrition. Where if you ain't no divester, if you ain't running around here trying to lay up under white mommy on white day, your bloodline, you're gonna be starved out. You won't have any access to resources. All the resources, just like they doing right now. Chicago, they giving them $9,000. They giving them housing for like a year or two, all type of stuff. If this crisis never happened, if the border stuff never happened, they wouldn't have never gave none of that stuff to black people. They wouldn't have never gave black people $9,000 just because. They never would have paid for black folks' housing just because. So the resource we're supposed to be getting, they basically giving these foreign nations all of our reparations money. All the money they've given to Ukraine, Ukrainians, Afghanis, these Hispanic invaders on across the border, these Asians coming over, even these African immigrants that's crossing the border now, and these Haitians and Caribbeans and everybody that's basically they take care of them. They giving all of our reparations money to all these people. Then when we come talking about our reparations, oh, we don't got it. That's the name of the game. This is how they get out. But I'm gonna let Joe Biden continue with his little speech. So here we go.
The best one the nation's ever seen. It would finally provide the funding I requested early on and again in October to secure our borders. It includes an additional 1,300 border patrols. We need more agents on the border. 375 immigration judges to judge whether or not someone can come or not come and be fair about it. 1,600 asylum officers, and over 100 cutting-edge inspection machines to help detect and stop fentanyl coming on our southwest border.
Now, all of this stuff was already in place. He took it all away. It was already in place. So you want to take it away? Let these people invade the country for 3.5 years. Then come towards the end of his presidency, say, you know what? I'm gonna fix this border crisis. Now, don't mention that I created it now. But you know what, guys? I'm about to fix this border crisis for you. Now, it's always been within his political power as the president to stop any activity at the border anytime he wants. But now he's telling us, no, I need you all to pass this bill. Well, I want the people to understand, though, that the real deal is this plan that he's asking for is a finesse in and of itself. And I'm probably gonna tag TD Hip Hop's video about this in the description, because I don't have time to go into the nuts and bolts of how much of the actual shit, the stuff he's asking for, how much of it is a finesse. But it basically is saying, you know what I'm saying, give you the cliff notes about this thing, you know what I'm saying, that uh they would they want to allow, this is what he's asking for, this is what he's saying, how he'll stop what's going on at the border. His idea of stopping what's going on at the border is that they're going to allow 5,000 illegal immigrants to cross per day. Once that limit reaches, now 5,000 per day is a ridiculous number. And I'm pretty sure they've already done the numbers to know that they probably get about 3,000 or 4,000 people a day. They know they'll never reach that 5,000 number. They know they'll never reach that per day. But that's why the number is so ridiculously high. But his plan is we let up to 5,000 people cross into the country a day. Once it gets to 5,000 on any particular day, that's when we'll cut it off and shut it off for that day and then start over the next day. So they'll let up to 5,000 illegal immigrants into the country. This is his plan. They'll let up to 5,000 illegal immigrants into the country each day. And then once that 5,000 number, which is, like I say, they know already that's probably not even on the worst day ever, hasn't reached 5,000 entering in one day. So they're saying, well, once it reach 5,000, then we'll cut it off at the border. That's his plan on stopping the border. Those numbers is worse than, if you did the math on those numbers, it's something like let me do some quick math on it. Bear with me. That's 100. That's 1,825,000 people a year. 5,000 a day. 1,825,000 people a year. Now, I believe last year, so maybe it might do be over 8,000, because I believe last year they said 2.5 million immigrants came into the country last year. But again, I mean, God dog, is a whole country about to come in here? You'd already let 205 million come last year, not to mention the 2 years before that. And the however 100 millions of people you let in up until now. I mean, unless the whole South America is about to get emptied out into the country, those numbers is going to slow down anyway. It's going to be hard to keep up with that 2.5 million they let in last year. So you still not stopping anything with those numbers. You know what I'm saying? You still not stopping, because God dog, the people that want to be here is probably here by now. All the people you let in. So again, the invasion is on. You know what I'm saying? The fix is in. They didn't accomplish their goal. Now they're like, okay, now I didn't accomplish my goal. Let me come and try to act like I want to do something about it. Come on now, Biden thinks we stupid. You know what I'm saying? Biden, who you think you're talking to, Biden? You can't send us off. You the old senile bastard, not us. You can't spin us or send us off. We all know the game you playing. 5,000 people a day is a ridiculous number. But again, let's let him finish this out, then I'm gonna finish this on out.
It'll also give me, as president, the emergency authority to shut down the border until it can get back under control.
Now he already has that authority as president right now. Just like Trump had that authority and exercised it when he used it. So he's a liar. But we all know Jim Crow Joe is a liar. But he has that authority right now. As the president, he has that authority. He doesn't need an act of Congress to shut down the border for national security reasons. That's the whole point of having a president, to make them type of decisions. Who does he think, again, who does he think he's talking to?
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly.
A lie. His idea of shutting down the border is letting them 5,000 people in a day. But if we're letting them in, they're not illegally crossing, so it's a word game. Well, I shut down the border because we only let 5,000 illegals in a day. But we're regulating it, so they're not illegal. They're just the same migrant game instead of illegal immigrants game they've been playing. All they migrants, it's improper to call them illegal. They entered the country illegally. They wasn't searched or patted or they brought God knows what. They went through no process. You entered the country illegally. You're an illegal immigrant. I'm not sure what the hell you're talking about saying call them migrants when they entered the country illegally. We don't have open borders. If we had open borders, they'd be migrants. We have closed borders where they're supposed to go through a vetting process to gain access to being a citizen, or whatever their purpose is coming in, or whatever. They have to be accounted for. If you didn't come in and go through a process that was accounted for, then you're an illegal immigrant. You're not a migrant. I don't care which way you spin or slice them pies.
A bipartisan bill would be good for America and help fix our broken immigration system and allow speedy access for those who deserve to be here. And Congress needs to get it.
So he admits that it's broken, but he created the problem to make it broken. But now he wants to address it 3.5 years in when he's trying to get reelected. As he mumbles and stumbles through this damn old little speech.
Done. Folks.
Biden is just sad. He's a traitor at this point to me. I mean, I believe he should be brought up on treason charges. He's completely betrayed the country. Not just black America, the entire country. He's betrayed the entire American populace. And in my opinion, he's compromised. I believe he probably works for, secretly works for some foreign entity or nation, namely China. I believe he's on the take. He was the big guy when they was talking about all that stuff about them Chinese kickbacks and talking about you got to take care of the big guy too. We know they was talking about Joe Biden when his son was doing all that finessing and deal cutting. His dope fiend, crackhead son. So, it's just all bad with your boy Biden. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't know what more I can say about that. It's all bad. But we got your boy Trump now. He got some rebuttal. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, I don't know Trump squad or no stuff like that. Until Trump start talking about he got something for us, I ain't with him neither. But I'm open to anybody, you know what I'm saying, that's talking that right talk about doing something for the black community. But Trump is better for the black community. By default, he's better for black America because he's talking about shutting down this immigration stuff and getting these immigrants out of the country. You know what I'm saying? So at least we get some benefit with Trump. But Trump needs to come with, to get any type of endorsements or people to be talking about they going for Trump, Trump needs to come with something for us. He needs to bring back that platinum plan and let's remix it and get it all the way tightened up or something. Trump can't just get in here and get something for nothing now. He need to come with something. You need to bring it on. You know what I'm saying? If you want to solidify your victory this year. Trump, you know what I'm saying? That's from Ole Man Winter to Trump and his supporters or whatever. If you want the black vote, you need to come with something. You know what I'm saying? You got to bring something to the table of black folks. But here's Trump's rebuttal to that speech that Biden just stumbled through.
So now Biden is trying to gaslight the American public by claiming that his border disaster is Republicans' fault. It's the Republicans' fault. Look at these great.
And he's honestly right. I got to give him that. He hit the nail on the head. Biden is gaslighting us. You know what I'm saying? Biden, you create the whole border crisis. Now it's everybody else's fault but your own. Now you need some Congress to sign off on this, that, and the third, but you got the power of the presidency to stop this anytime you want. You let policies that were in place to stop this stuff from going on, you let them expire. You created this whole mess.
Great people, all big shot politicians. It's your fault. Even though we had the safest border, the best border in history 3 years ago, he's actually trying to blame us for the border. And I think it's just disgraceful. And that's what they do. They're a party of disinformation. They will take something and they feel if you say it over and over and over again, people will start to believe it. This is
one thing I'll say about Trump. He'll keep it real on a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's not to say he won't be full of crap and he won't be on no BS himself. But he will keep it real and say what these folks really be on. And he's really putting it down. You know, what he's saying is all facts. They'll keep on trying to drill something in your head, trying to indoctrinate you and convince you, like I started off when I said this, I'm pissing on you, but I'm telling you it's raining. You know what I'm saying? You gonna believe me or your lying eyes? You know what I'm saying? They hitting us with all of that type of BS. You know what I'm saying? This is the get down. But both parties do all this stuff. So you pointing the finger at them, and three more is pointing back at you, my brother. Trump, you need to get your stuff together too and come up with some type of reparations package for the black community. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know why we ain't trying to put pressure on Trump to come with these reparations too. If he's gonna be president, he's responsible to try to get us our reparations. At the same time, Biden has that responsibility. Trump do too. He ain't off the hook. He need to come up with our reparations.
Purely set up by Democrats, and I think they're trying to get out.
So yeah, that was Trump. I ain't about to keep on playing nothing else about whatever he talking about. I ain't hear the rest of it. But yeah, Biden out here, he think we some goddamn fools. He think, what I'm saying, he can just say anything and we just gonna go along with it. Like the entire American population know this ain't even the only thing Biden done did. It's a long litany of lists. There's no way he's gonna get reelected. Everybody hates Biden. At this point in time, black, white, Asian, they even pissed off the damn Muslims. He done pissed damn near everybody off. There's no way he gets reelected. But, don't sit up here and try to think you're going to tell us anything and we about to just go along with it. Biden probably will go down as being one of the worst presidents in history. We all know that he's barely cognitive and don't know what's going on anyway. So I doubt he's even aware enough to even care that or even understand that he's going to go down as one of the worst presidents in history. But there you have it. That sums it up right there. It's your man, Ole Man Winter. I ain't gonna beat y'all eardrum up all night about this right here. And we out. Peace.